Why does your dog spin before they poop, sniff your butt, sleep with their eyes open like a tiny haunted doll, or stare into your soul while licking the couch? It all seems random, but none of it actually is. Every odd behavior has a reason rooted in biology, psychology, or ancient animal instinct. Today we're breaking down 40 of the strangest dog behaviors and what they're really trying to say. Some will make you laugh, others are gonna blow your mind. Let's start with one thing your dog never skips on a walk: sniffing everything. Nothing escapes the alert nose. Dogs navigate life by smell. Humans have about 5 million scent receptors, but dogs up to 250 million. And the part of their brain devoted to processing smells is about 40 times larger than ours. See, when your dog stops to sniff a patch of grass, it's not just curiosity, it's data collection. Every scent adds to their internal doggy map: who passed by, when they passed by, and even whether they were male or female. And naturally, this internal doggy map includes how they feel and what they eat. Now, you've probably heard that dogs can read us, and they can. They smell emotions. Scientists even did a study where dogs were given sweat samples from happy and scared people, and you know what happened? The happy scents made them confident and relaxed, while the fear scents made them anxious and clingy. Next time you're out for a walk and your pup takes one step forward to do about 50 sniffs at that one spot, just remember, they're running a full forensic investigation here. And no investigation would be complete without some odd behaviors like saying hi by sniffing butts. As you probably know, humans shake hands, while dogs prefer the sniff and greet protocol. But there's more to it than most dog owners realize. Yeah, it's a bit awkward, but dogs have a good reason for it. Inside those cute, fluffy rear ends are anal glands that release a unique mix of chemicals instantly picked up by another dog's snout. Basically, dog ID cards. Your dog's special compounds teach who they are, their sex, their health status, what their diet is, and even their mood. For every butt sniff is a conversation. Hey, who are you? Where have you been? What have you been eating? So really, this is a sophisticated information exchange. You know, in case my sophisticated scarf wasn't enough. Speaking of information exchange, another odd but perfectly logical behavior in a dog's scent-driven world is their remarkable P-mail delivery system. A quick leg lift, maybe a squat, and boom, message sent. Yep, when your dog stops every 2 meters to lift a leg, they're not just relieving themselves. Each tiny splash contains a cocktail of chemical markers that tell other dogs who's been there, when, and even how they're feeling. Yeah, we like to communicate our feelings a lot. Dogs use urine to claim territory, announce their presence, and share emotional and reproductive information. It's called scent marking, a crucial form of dog communication, especially when you can't sniff their butt. And to be honest, this whole talk about scent reminds me of a special moment for dog owners when their beloved pups decide to roll in smelly things. Y'all know it, right? After a fresh bath and a groom, your dog smells like a cloud of shampoo. And next, they're diving nose first into a puddle of who knows what. Mud, dirty water, even dead fish. As gross as it looks, rolling in strong smells comes from their wolf ancestors. It helped them share scents with the pack or mask their own while hunting. While that's true, another reason is they just like it. It's a way to self-anoint, like wearing perfume, but in their own questionable style. The scent stimulates your dog's powerful sense of smell, and they may even soothe them. A study with wolves showed that scents like feces of deer, llama, and rat were among the top favorites. So these smells are simply an instinctive action that triggers your dogs. They're born with it. The fancy term is fixed action pattern. So if your freshly bathed dog dives into something foul 5 minutes later, they're just following their DNA. But if that behavior overwhelms you, boy, I'm sure this next one that dogs love to do might also. Non-stop licking. Who hasn't felt that cold, wet little tongue sneak up on you while you're completely distracted? Yeah, mothers lick their puppies to clean them and build connection, teaching them early that licking means care and bonding. dogs are especially drawn to our mouths. Why? Well, humans emit over 2,700 chemicals, an ocean of smells and flavors that your dog obviously wants to explore. Licking is a dog's version of a handshake or a kiss. So next time you get annoyed with your pup licking your face, remember, that's like someone reaching out for a handshake and you slapping them away. Rude, huh? Dogs also love licking their doggy friends, and when you see a pup licking other dogs' mouths, it's actually a surprisingly polite gesture. It may look odd or way too personal, but it makes sense in dog language. Puppies lick their mother's mouths to encourage her to regurgitate food. Grown dogs still do it, but now it's no longer about food, it's communication. Mouth licking is an appeasement signal. Behaviors dogs use to say, "Hey, I'm friendly." So yes, in canine society, licking muzzles is just a little act of canine diplomacy. Speaking of licking, here's another behavior that might seem pointless, but actually says a lot. When dogs lick their own lips. You see, lip licking is also an appeasement or stress-related behavior. Dogs use this to diffuse tension when they sense conflict or negative emotions. And get this, a study showed dogs pictures of angry or happy faces, both human and canine. They lick their lips much more at the angry ones, especially human faces. Turns out this isn't random. It may be a subtle way dogs evolved to say to us, "Let's keep things friendly, yeah?" But before you panic every time your dog licks their lips, it's not always stress. Sometimes they're just cleaning up or smelling something tasty. A lip lick can mean, "I'm a bit stressed," or simply, that smells good. But what about when dogs lick themselves? Well, even that's perfectly normal. Yes, even their private parts. But obsessive licking can turn into a compulsive habit that may signal skin allergies, tummy trouble, or anxiety. Think of it as their version of biting your nails. So, at that point, it might be time for a vet check. As we're talking about licking, another weird behavior you may catch your dog doing is licking surfaces. Floors, carpets, even walls. It's usually just your dog exploring. They might be checking for crumbs, food traces, or just a curious new flavor, but too much licking might also point to gut issues. A study found 74% of dogs with constant surface licking had gut problems. Things like delayed stomach emptying, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic pancreatitis, and parasites. Once treated, 59% of the dogs stopped or licked much less. So if your dog is constantly cleaning the floors that don't need cleaning, their stomach might be trying to tell you something. Alright, enough with the licking. Let's talk about another way dogs express themselves. Who hasn't been startled by their dog suddenly breaking into an emotional performance? Because do you know why dogs howl? Every husky owner ever knows exactly what I mean. Those endless ambulance-like songs that echo through the house. Yeah, dogs can shape their voices into many sounds, but one of the most iconic is the howl, a long-distance call. In the wild, it helps pack members find each other and warns outsiders to stay away. Some dogs howl at sirens, music, or singing because those sounds actually hit the same pitch as a howl. Curious about why some dogs howl more than others? Well, a doggy researcher noticed her husky howled non-stop while most dogs didn't, so she dug deeper. Her research team played howl recordings to 68 dogs, and the result? Breeds like the Shiba Inu, Husky, and Malamute were far more likely to howl back. So the closer a breed is to wolves, the stronger the natural instinct to howl. Oh, sorry about that. That's just the natural instinct kicking in. So the next time your dog belts out a dramatic howl at a siren, you know that they're just keeping an ancient family tradition alive. How honorable. However, not every dog is a dramatic singer, but almost all of them bark to everything they hear or see outside. Yeah. You know the type. One leaf falls outside and your dog's like, "Ah! Intruder alert! Code red!" You may think your dog overreacts just a little, but the truth is that they always have a reason, which may not seem worthy to you, but it is to them. Dogs bark around the house when they can't see or hear something, or can't chase that one squirrel taunting them from the fence. Humans hear up to 20,000 hertz, but dogs as high as 45,000 hertz. That's 4 times higher pitch for those who don't know hertz. This means they can catch noises that we'll never notice. Indeed, we are the best free bark-powered alarm system you could ask for. And speaking of barking, few things trigger a dog's inner chaos like this. Have you seen a dog's reaction to the doorbell? Yeah. Every time it rings, your dog's convinced it's the apocalypse. To your dog, the doorbell means something big's happening. And they're right. It always does. Each ding-dong brings a guest, a package with new smells, or, of course, the beloved mailman with treats. According to applied behavior analysis, just fancy words for how dogs, and to be honest, all of us, learn through experience, it follows a pattern. Trigger, reaction, reward. And that's how your dog learns. Doorbell equals excitement. So next time your dog loses it at the doorbell, remember, they're just conditioned that way. Skinner will be proud. Okay, so the doorbell sends them into chaos. But have you seen what happens when dogs hear a squeak sound? Your dogs clearly have a lot of opinions about noises, and that high-pitched squeak from toys is their favorite. But why? That squeak mimics the cries of small prey, like mice or birds, tapping into your dog's inner hunter. It triggers the brain's dopamine reward system, something humans are way too familiar with nowadays. And for your pup, one squeak and their brain lights up like a Christmas tree. So while the endless squeaking loop might sound like torture to you, to your dog, it's fun. It's just deeply wired behavior playing out. And since we're talking about toys, it's impossible not to mention one of the most iconic canine signature moves, fetching. They bring you everything, from slobbery toys to rocks, underwear, or toilet paper rolls. Some even show up proudly holding their own leash. Labradors and Goldens were bred to fetch prey, and that instinct still runs strong. But even non-retrievers do it too, simply because it's fun. So when your dog proudly drops a soggy tennis ball or yesterday's laundry at your feet, remember, it's joy, purpose, and teamwork. And while bringing things back is perfectly normal, some dogs take it a little too seriously. I'm talking about the dogs who can't quit fetch. Ever met a ball junkie? Thrown it once, twice, 30 times, and they're still staring like, again? Yours has probably done this a few times. A brand new study found that about 1 in 3 toy-obsessed dogs fit the ball junkie profile. These dogs couldn't focus on anything else once the toy appeared, like those seagulls from Finding Nemo. That's because play activates the same brain reward system as dopamine, opioids, and cannabinoids that respond to food or drugs. So yeah, fetch might give your dog a mini euphoria hit. However, this is not saying dogs are truly addicted, but if play turns into an endless fetch marathon, maybe give that tennis ball a break before we start a group called Fetchers Anonymous. Speaking of play, another classic dog behavior is the universal ready-to-party position. It's the play bow. Play bows tell other dogs it's all in good fun, and works as an invitation to reinitiate play after a pause. Some experts say it also gives the bower a quick getaway position. Come on, isn't that just the cutest invitation ever? You know what's also ridiculously cute and also a little bit weird is when your dog becomes a furry pancake. It's called splooting. When dogs lie on their belly with their hind legs stretched straight, some owners wonder, is that normal? It actually is. Dogs sploot because it feels great. It helps them stretch, relax, and cool off. If it's a new habit, check with your vet, but most of the time, it's just your pup getting comfy. But if splooting makes you smile, few things melt hearts faster than that adorable head tilt. You know the look. You say something and your dog tilts their head like they're trying to decode every word you say. Dogs tilt their heads when they hear something familiar or meaningful, like a word they know. Hey, let's go for a walk! Head tilts are tied to attention and brain lateralization, which is just a smart-sounding way to say dogs use each side of the brain for different things. Most even have a favorite tilt side, just like being right or left-handed. Do you remember Chaser, the legendary border collie who learned over 1,000 toy names? She was often seen tilting her head thoughtfully as if running through her own mental dictionary. As peculiar as the head tilt is, there's another subtle and surprisingly coordinated action dogs do, which is synchronized blinking. The way your dog blinks might seem random, but it's not. It's actually a form of communication. A recent study called "If You Blink at Me, I'll Blink Back" observed dogs to understand what happens when they see another dog performing slow eye blinks. And guess what? They tend to blink back. This slow blink is a subtle way to show goodwill and bond. So when your pup blinks at you, they're not just protecting their eyes, they're saying, "It's all good. I trust you, bro." And if you notice two dogs blinking at each other, it's usually a sign of a friendly interaction, like a little, "We cool, buddy." And as we're speaking of body language, from subtle blinking to full-on shimmy, here comes another odd dog habit: shaking. You know that rapid side-to-side ripple of fur and ears that sends water, hair, or drool flying in every direction? Yeah. A Harvard study revealed how furry mammals pull off that post-bath shake, tracking signals from skin receptors to brain regions that controls the reflex. But shaking isn't just about drying off. It's also a reset button. Researchers observed that most dog shakes in parks and daycares happen between activities or after interactions, as if dogs were releasing tension and shifting gears emotionally. So when your dog suddenly gives that dramatic full-body shake, even when they're bone dry, they're simply rebooting their system. You've seen the shake, but what about when your dog decides to go scrubbing themselves? It looks silly or a little dramatic, but they do it with a purpose. When they rub, they're sending scent mail, either leaving their own or picking up one they like. It's their way of saying, "This spot now smells like me." When it just feels good, rubbing can scratch an itch, stretch muscles, or provide a bit of tactile comfort. And when it's about getting your attention, some dogs learn that you stop everything to watch them being goofy. So if your dog occasionally gives the wall or couch a good scrub, they're probably just having fun. But now let's talk about another peculiar ritual dogs do: endless circling. Whether it's before bedtime or pooping, dogs have a thing for turning in circles. Wolves circle before lying down to flatten grass, check for hidden threats, and position themselves relative to their pack. Modern dogs have kept the instinct, even if their den is now your couch. When it comes to circling before pooping, science adds a literal twist. Czech researchers found that dogs sense Earth's magnetic field and tend to align north-south when doing their business. This helps them calibrate their internal sense of direction before doing a sensitive act like elimination. Interesting, huh? And speaking of potty time, what about their curious habit of kicking after pooping? It might look like your dog's trying to bury evidence, but this is actually about communication. Dogs scrape the ground after doing their business to send messages. Scent glands in their paw pads release pheromones, and dirt flinging helps spread the word even further. Those claw marks in the soil leave both a visual and a scent trail for other dogs. When the next curious nose comes along, they'll sniff and think, "Oh, someone's been here. Let me check it out." Speaking of dog behaviors that make you ask, why are you like this? Eating poop. Yep, gross, but inherited. It's actually normal for their wolf ancestors to eat feces to keep their spaces clean. A gross but true fact. Dogs love the taste of horse poop, and cat poop's a bonus packed with undigested protein. Some dogs even eat their own poop. It's called coprophagia and often shows up in greedy eaters or copycats who see other dogs doing it. While it's usually just a digestive habit, keep in mind it can signal digestive or behavioral issues. But as we're talking about questionable food choices, have you ever wondered why some dogs love eating grass? Grass eating is perfectly normal. It adds fiber and helps keep their digestion in balance. So, is your dog sick when they eat grass? Probably not. Research shows the old "they do it to throw up" idea is mostly a myth. Out of 374 cases, only 2 caused vomiting in a study. Just make sure to keep your dog away from chemically treated lawns or toxic plants and let them be part-time cows. That reminds me of another thing dogs love to do in the yard: burying things. It's another instinct from their wild ancestors. Wolves bury food to keep it safe. It's called caching. Dogs and wolves still do it today, relying on sharp spatial memory to find their hidden treasures. Have you ever caught your dog trying to bury a precious piece of cheese under a blanket? It's the wild instincts moving indoors. But no list of strange dog behaviors would be complete without mentioning digging. In the garden, on the beach, or on your couch, dogs love to dig. And they do it for many reasons. To make cool, comfortable sleeping spots, to hide things, out of predatory drive to search for moles or grubs, or just because it's fun. It releases energy, relieves boredom, and uncovers new smells. If your dog's inner archaeologist is getting a bit out of control, try providing a legal digging zone, like a sandbox where you can hide toys. Your dog's gonna love it. You know what else dogs love to do? Chewing things. Who's never lost a slipper to a dog? Hands up. Yeah. Chewing is actually one of their most basic canine behaviors. As newborns, pups mouth everything, hoping to trigger milk letdown. That instinct never disappears, it just evolves. A new study even found that giving dogs long-lasting chews after training speeds up the learning. But why? The post-training window is when the brain solidifies new memories, and because chewing calms the nervous system, it creates the perfect state for memory to stick. So, give chews to your pup, they clean teeth, ease stress, and cost way less than a new pair of shoes. A couch or your nerves. Speaking of chaos, let's talk about the next weird dog response: the zoomies. The scientific name is FRAPS, FRAPS, frenetic random activity periods. Every dog parent has witnessed it. Your pup suddenly turns into a furry tornado sprinting full speed in chaotic circles. Some tuck their tails and butts in as they run. It's hilarious. It's a way to release tension when dogs have built up a lot of energy or excitement after a bath, a nap, or when their favorite human comes home. It's totally normal and harmless, as long as your dog has room to zoom safely. Keep them from slipping or crashing, and let them party on. This reminds me of another chaotic dog action: tail chasing. It's cute and normal for puppies still learning about their bodies, but in adults, tail chasing can signal boredom, compulsion, or even medical issues like arthritis or skin irritation. So if your dog seems stuck in an endless game of catch that tail, a vet check is definitely worth it. But another dog reaction that makes humans wonder, are you okay? Is growling during play. Your dog is playing and suddenly starts growling, and you can't help but think, is this turning into a fight? Dogs love play fighting, chasing, wrestling, and rolling in chaos. Humans just need to step aside to avoid getting run over. It can look intense, especially when the growling starts. And the truth is, growling isn't always aggression. There's a playful kind too. Aggressive growls are low, long, and tense, with stiff bodies and fixed stares. Those guttural grrr sounds. Play growls are shorter, bouncier, with pauses and relaxed faces. So the key is how and when it happens. But you know what's also funny and not a reason to worry? The hilarious helicopter tail. Have you ever seen your dog's tail start spinning like a propeller as they run around? This usually means your dog is thrilled to see someone special. You, a favorite friend, or another beloved pet. It's one of the most positive wags, often reserved for strong social bonds. It is pure happiness close to liftoff. Silly and cute, just like the weird canine habit of following you everywhere. Ever heard of a Velcro dog? Every step you take, they're right there supervising you. Well, here's why. Dogs bond with us deeply, much like a child bonds with a parent. Studies have shown this. Time together floods both you and your dog with feel-good chemicals: oxytocin, dopamine, beta endorphins, and prolaxin. That's why they always want to be by your side. In the same line, as if following you from room to room wasn't clingy enough, many dogs simply don't know what personal space is. You know the type. Extra large dog who thinks he's still a lap puppy, or one who rests their head on your shoulder to supervise everything you're doing. Yeah, you're their safe space. Touch floods their brain with those feel-good chemicals even more, making closeness deeply rewarding. That's why they need to be right there, breathing your air, living their best, no boundaries life. Oh, this makes me think about how many dogs will interrupt people hugging. A University of Auckland study found dogs really do get jealous when their humans interact with others. So when dogs squeeze themselves right between you and whoever you're hugging, it's mostly attention seeking and frustration, harmless unless there's aggression. Just your dog being adorably possessive and a bit dramatic. It's similar to when dogs nudge you. Have you felt that cold little nose booping you when you're deep in thought or on your phone? Why do dogs do that? Nudging is a way of asking for attention. Dogs that boop the nose a lot are usually the ones who've learned it works. Every gentle push brings your eyes, hands, or laughter back to them. And after all this clinginess comes another behavior you've definitely seen: the stretch. That long, luxurious stretch of the front legs often sends a relaxed, friendly message, a doggy way of saying, hello. But sometimes, stretching can also be a displacement behavior, something dogs do when they are feeling unsure. Of course, sometimes a stretch is just that your dog woke up from a nap and is getting those muscles moving. Context here is everything. But now let's talk about another classic dog move: begging. This is the perfect time to use a dog's most powerful weapon, the puppy eyes. Yep, that puppy face is also something dogs learn gets them food. Who can resist it? Hint, nobody. Researchers even found that dogs change their begging based on human attention. In short, dogs know when you're watching and adjust to it. So it's not just cuteness, it is a set of tried and true strategies that get results. And as we list dog peculiar moves, we can't skip one that causes a bit of drama: resource guarding. Some dogs protect things they find valuable: food, toys, people, or even a favorite spot on the couch, from other dogs or even humans. Many owners joke about the canine hypocrisy. Some think dogs do this to be the boss, but it's not about dominance. It's instinct, passed down from their wolf ancestors where guarding food once meant survival. Today's dogs don't need to fight for resources, but it's still in their DNA. And there's another behavior that often makes owners wonder if their pup is broken. It's when dogs sleep with open eyes. In many cases, what looks like an open eye is actually the third eyelid covering and protecting it. This might also tie to light sleep or an ancestral instinct to stay half alert to sounds and movements even while resting. Usually, it's nothing to worry about. So there you have it, 40 of the strangest dog behaviors. If you love figuring out what's going on in your dog's head, join me for the next video for more mind-blowing dog science. I'll catch you next time.